Get ready. Start. Mr. Vice Chairman, the Honorable Minister has explained in detail the implications of this bill. I may point out that I am in fullest agreement with the principle that if there is any tax evasion or there are certain facilities in considering the assessment of any particular person, it may be transferred from one income tax officer to another income tax officer. It is but natural that in this complicated business of assessment, if particular trades and particular manufacturing concerns are properly assessed by one particular income tax officer, there will be great facility insofar as this power was possessed by the commissioners of income tax and the Central Board of Direct Taxes to transfer pending cases from one income tax officer to another. There need be no objection against it. But let us carefully examine the implications of this change. There is a case pending before an income tax officer about an assessment for a particular year. The whole file is transferred to another income tax officer. Nobody can have any objection to that particular assessment being passed by the new income tax officer. There can be no objection about subsequent years. In the subsequent years assessment, the file may be transferred from the new income tax officer, but the objection I have is that an income tax officer may rank up the assessment of previous years. There also, if there has been evasion, if there has been dishonesty, there are other methods. The commissioner could have appealed to higher authorities, I mean the appellate tribunals, the appellate assistant commissioners, etc. If there is a case of fraud, the commissioner and the Central Board of Direct Taxes possess special powers of opening up that case. The income tax officer can open the case. Here what will happen is that if the income tax commissioner is dissatisfied with any assessment of any previous year, or he has a grudge against a taxpayer, he simply transfers that case. The new income tax officer can open up any previous year's assessment and then he will pass a judgment. Supposing the income tax commissioner is dissatisfied even with that judgment, he again transfers the case to a third income tax officer. The third income tax officer again opens up all the previous year's assessments, considers them and passes an assessment order. Thus he goes on transferring from one to the other officer. Para Sir, the honorable mover of this bill has admirably and in very clear terms explained its aims and objects. It seeks to get over the effect of a judgment of the Supreme Court of India. This bill provides for transfer of all cases of an SSC pending before any officer and all subsequent cases that may arise in the future by a single order. Mr. Kishan Chand has thrown light on the undesirable character of this amendment. I have an objection of a different sort. The judgment of the Supreme Court was based on two grounds. The majority judgment did not deal with the present section under which omnibus transfers were purported to be made. The four judges took the view that the section did not contemplate omnibus transfer, and since the transfer in that case was of an omnibus nature, it was beyond the purview of the powers of income tax officers, and it was therefore bad. One judge agreed to this view, but he went further. He held that section 5(7)(a) itself offended the Constitution and was therefore bad. The four judges who delivered the main judgment did not pronounce a verdict on this aspect of the issue, but all the same there are observations in the main judgment which lend support to the view taken by the single judge. In the absence of any difference, the judgment of the single judge to the effect that section 5(7)(a) itself was void in as much as it offended the Constitution is still the valid law, for the Constitution says that the judgments pronounced by the Supreme Court shall be the law of the land. This amendment, while getting over the effect of the judgment of the four judges, does not get over the situation created by the judgment of the single judge, and that judgment in the absence of any difference is the accepted law of the land. I therefore feel that the purpose of this amending bill may be defeated. The object can only be achieved if there is a large scale and thorough amendment of various other sections of the Income Tax Act. This amendment, in my opinion, is shocking to one's sense of justice and fair play. We know that all laws, the criminal jurisdiction, a criminal case can be transferred from one magistrate or one judge to another. So is the case in civil suits, but in civil or criminal matters, it is individual cases that can be transferred. That was the law in income tax matters, that only a single case would be transferred.